Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Planescape Torment. I am your host, MeleeWizard, and we are here in the mortuary. Apparently we had been dead at some point. We got better. We've got our floating skull friend Mort, and we have this person here. At the very least, I know what this is about, because I did play a little bit of this, partially to understand the controls and mostly to make sure the game works. You see a slight young woman with pale features. The sunken flesh around her cheeks and neck make her appear as if she is starving. She seems intent on dissecting the corpse in front of her, prodding the chest with a finger. Okay. The woman does not respond. She seems too intent on the body in front of her. As you watch her work, you suddenly notice her hands. Her fingers are talons. They are darting in and out of the corpse's chest cavity like knives, removing organs. The woman makes no response. I think the dusty tip may be a bit short of hearing, Chief. Let's lay off, shall we? I cannot leave well enough alone, can I? The woman jumps and whips around to face you. Her eyes are a rotting yellow with small orange dots for pupils. As she sees you, her expression changes from surprise to irritation, and she frowns at you. She doesn't seem to have heard you. She leans forward, squinting as if she can't quite make you out. Whatever is wrong with her eyes must make her terribly nearsighted. You. She clacks her taloned fingers together, then makes a strange motion with her hands. Find thread and embalming juice. Bring here. To Aven. Go, go, go. You have been assigned a quest. Quests are displayed in your diary in the quest section, which I think we had seen a couple of things there, mostly regarding like Pharaon or whatever that guy's name was.
Updated my journal.
She turns away. She makes no sign that she heard you. Yeah, what is up with...
Updated my journal.
She's a tiefling, Chief. They got a dash of fiend blood running in their veins, usually because some ancestor of theirs shared knickers with some demon or another. Makes some of them addled in the head, and usually addled looking too.
Done.
Alright, so you looking for embalming fluid and some thread. Let's see if we can find some for you. That's just more of that stuff. Some of these zombie workers have had stuff. Number 257. Looks like the corpse has taken several blows to the head, making the number difficult to read. Oh, the eyeballs are slightly askew. One faces to the left, the other to the right. Of course, they don't seem to be the talkative sort. Surprise. Number 256 has been stitched on its forehead and the side of its neck and its right arm. In fact, the skin of this peeling corpse has been sewn up with so many stitches its skin looks like a bizarre street map. Coincidence? The stitches encircle the corpse, running from its arms, across its chest, up its neck, and into the damp mass of white hair. As you follow the crossroads of stitches, you notice someone has jammed a needle into the corpse's forehead. The needle is attached to a thread stitching up the side of the skull. You could probably unravel it if you had something to cut the thread. I do have a scalpel. You slice the thread neatly with the scalpel, then pluck out the needle and pull the stitches out. As you do, the skin covering the forehead peels back to reveal the corpse's chalk-white skull, where, to your surprise, the number 78 has been chiseled. Huh. Okay. So I do have... Yep, I do have needle and thread, so that's one part of the combination here that I need. Let's see if we can find the embalming fluid anywhere nearby. Nope, not here. Alright. Anything about you? Step dead and extracts. Judging from the condition of its left leg, it looks like some sort of tomb rot or corpse mold has eaten through its knee. Lovely. I'll be the nice one here. You reach out for the corpse's left arm to help steady it. As you grab its arm, however, the corpse suddenly sways to the right, and you end up tugging the corpse rather than steadying it. There is a crack from the corpse's left leg, and the body falls like a dead tree. Its torso strikes the stone flagstones and shatters like a rotten melon, filth and ichor gurgling from the cavity. To your surprise, no one seems to have noticed the corpse's collapse, and even stranger, the left leg remains standing there, standing where the body was, as if at attention. After a moment, the left leg falls over with a wet thump. As you gaze upon the putrefied remains of the corpse, you notice that its left arm seems intact. It has snapped from the torso during the fall, and it doesn't appear to have been touched by the tomb rot that had spread through the rest of the body. Not sure what I'll use that for, but it's a thing I now have. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's anything else here. And we do have a map, so I can see where I've been in this particular area, and any particular walkable surfaces, just in case I might have missed something, and I can also add notes. And then there's the world map as well, which, you know, we've hardly been anywhere yet. Alright, what does this one have? You're number 821. His lips have been stitched closed. The faint smell of formaldehyde emanates from his body. Okay. Why are you disguised as a corpse?
Updated my journal.
The zombie is trying to respond behind stitched lips. He has a peculiar, half-frightened, half-angry expression. Who you? What you want? Okay. The zombie doesn't seem to have heard you. He looks you up and down for a few moments and frowns. What you do here? His eyes narrow suspiciously. You spy on Dusties? I'm not gonna try and blackmail this guy. You look like someone who'd rather disguise themselves as a corpse than be. Well, that could be a threat. Everybody needs something, but nobody gives anything. You give me something, maybe. Okay. A key. Key to the embalmer's room? Dusty has it. She has yellow eyes, and then makes a motion with his hands that reminds you of a pair of cutting shears. I think I know who that is.
Updated my journal.
If you're caught, don't say nothing about me, or me gut you in your sleep. Fine. Okay. So I'm already seeing things I didn't see on my brief foray into this, so Being thorough is not a bad thing. Can I... Okay, I need a key for that. Container is locked. Nothing in that. And still locked. Oh, right. There's stairs here. Alright, let's see what we got here. Mortuary,
I'm gone.
third floor. Charcoal charm? Ooh, fire resistance. Charcoal charm temporarily protects the user against flames and extreme heat. To use the charm, the charred bone is snapped and both halves are ground to powder. Then the charcoal dust is rubbed over the heart of the user. Okay. Interesting. Alright. Well, I mean, I guess if they're useless, then I guess I won't worry about them. Okay. Another needle and thread. Alright, this one doesn't seem to be of much significance. So I feel like I should be avoiding the dustman, since I don't want to get caught. Though that might be easier said. Uh-oh. More junk. Skeleton worker. Skeleton has either seen a great deal of combat or has fallen down one too many staircases. Both its arms and legs have been broken and rebuilt with the aid of leather straps and thin iron rods. The front of its skull bears the number 863, but the back of the skull has caved in, forming an empty cavity. You notice that someone has taken advantage of this and tucked a rolled-up piece of parchment inside the skull. Give me that. You slip the parchment out of the worker's skull. Oddly enough, it looks as if the skull cavity is intended to store messages. A tiny string is attached to the parchment from a hook bolted inside the skull as if to keep the parchment from accidentally falling out. Okay. You unlock the string and glance over the parchment. It looks like a reminder from one of the mortuary custodians. Judging from the note, this skeleton seems to be a walking messenger of sorts. As you take a second glance at the skeleton, you realize it has stopped in front of the slab because it can't figure out how to move past it. Yeah. Graybeard. Graybeard, you know, geezer, old fella, yellow dog, old. Yeah. You're not quite... Mort snorts. You're not quite sure how he managed it without lungs. Yeah, yeah. How about you? Okay, nothing from the responses seem to be anything of note. Okay, yeah, there's just... You're still coming towards me, and I don't think I... Bandages... Oh boy. Clot Charm? Heals health, and I'm assuming temporary resistance. Cool. Mortuary task list. Someone has penned a series of tasks in red ink on the scrap of parchment. I would like the contracted workers to be inspected thrice daily at the end of each work shift when the new initiates come on duty. We have experienced too many contracted collapses while engaged in heavy labor as of late, and I fear the embalming enchantments initially used on the corpses may be decaying or may have been warped somehow. If the contracted workers could be inspected every 8 hours and raised if they have collapsed, then this would prevent the backlog of shells in the preparation rooms and free up more contracted workers for other duties. I do not wish collapsed bodies to be disposed of. When possible, the original contracted shells are to be raised and be made to resume their duties. I have included spare embalming charms within the shelves for the initiates on duty. They are to be used only when the shells cannot be repaired with stitching, bandaging, or applications of embalming fluid. Okay. There's the embalming charms. Usable only on Nameless One and Mort. It appears that the bracelet works by being held by a living creature. Then, while pronouncing a mantra to the true death, it is touched to the forehead of a zombie or skeleton. When this is done, a minor enchantment held within the item spreads to the corpse, strengthening their bones, killing traces of corpse rot and or grave mold, and helping to heal minor tears in the skin. Okay, when cast, the target gains temporary hit points and a temporary bonus of +1 AC for, quote, half an hour. The extra hit points will heal the target if he's less than max, or they will give him bonus hit points for a half hour. Cool. And so yeah, that's how we know time goes by. Oh boy. Dang it. Yes. Yeah, I don't want to. Okay, to your surprise, the act seemed instinctual, as if you had done it many times before. With this thought comes the stirring of a memory, but it is not strong enough to surface. Okay. Dustman robes. Usable only in the mortuary, of course. These frayed robes are commonly worn by members of the Dustman faction. They have an old, musty smell about them, and they don't fit you very well. You doubt the Dustman disguise will hold up under scrutiny, and certainly not if the Dustmen are looking for an intruder. All the more reason, not to have him alert anyone about what's going on. The Dustman robes are a cosmetic disguise. Even though you appear to be armed with a dagger, you will do damage according to the weapon you had equipped when you put the disguise on. If you switch weapons while the disguise is on, the robe disguise will be nullified and you must re-equip it for it to work. If you end up alerting the mortuary to your presence or turning the Dustmen hostile, the disguise will not hide you from Dustmen who are looking for intruders. As a final note, the Dustman robes are useless outside the mortuary. Okay. Oh, needle and thread actually have a function. Cool. So scalpel does 1 die 3 piercing, and that's 1 die 3 slashing. Well, I mean, might as well. Just more junk. Sword word repent has been carefully engraved into its forehead with some amount of skill. Or if her hand is chiseled 996. Someone has taken care to bind the bones of the skeleton with leather straps woven around the body in such a pattern that they resemble muscles and tendons. The straps are secured to metal bolts punched into the skeleton's joints. The skeleton looks like it has seen a great deal of service. Many of its bones are chipped, and its numerous fractures are bound with sealant and foul-smelling glues. Not sure why I would want to do that, so... So... yeah, that's the same bit. Okay. Anything here? No. No. And no. Okay, I had already... In my initial foray to this, I could have sworn I found embalming fluid somewhere around here, but maybe I was mistaken. Oh, that's a furnace. Okay, never mind. Don't go there. Oh, there's more down here. I thought I had explored everything here, but apparently not. It's number 832. Nope. This is more junk. Alright. Container is locked. Dustman request. Contact the necromancer responsible for raising contractual worker 42. I know he's examined the skeleton before, but I am certain the initial raising of the body was warped. The worker still responds to commands, but when it has completed a task, it resumes pacing in the same circular pattern as it did before. Dahl recently informed me that worker 42 exhibited that same walking pattern when it was a zombie decades ago. There may be a soul echo in the marrow, or the skeleton's age may have caused the magic animating him to decay. One of the initiates suggested it may be following an order issued by a higher-ranking dustman in the past, but I have found no records of such an order. Whatever the reason for its behavior, the matter is to be resolved or the worker replaced. Okay. An iron pry bar. Ooh, 1 die 6. Crushing. Cool. And I am a fighter, so I can use it. To use a pry bar to force a locked door or chest. Ooh. So that's a thing I can do. Although the pry bar is sufficiently intended for such use, you can attempt to bash open a container or door with any weapon, including your fists. Cool. This feels like a bad idea, so that's why I'm saving first. Okay, fair enough. It was worth a try. Was there any other path through here or something? Ah. I don't have a key. Right then. Think I had already checked all these. Okay.
All right.
I'm mostly checking to see if there's... Aha! Turns out I did miss something. Now I'll just have to remember which one of those guys was the one in disguise, but... Might as well give you the, give her the things. She leans forward, looks at your hand motions, then sniffs. Her hand darts into a rope that emerges. A key hanging from her wickedly sharp index finger. Okay.
Updated my journal.
Can I... Aha!
Updated my journal.
Without missing a beat, Ivan snaps the thread from your hands and hooks it around one of her talons, then begins sewing up the corpse's chest. She then takes the embalming fluid and begins to apply a layer to the corpse. Okay. Within minutes, she is finished. She clicks her talons, then turns to face you. To your surprise, she extends her hand and drags her talons along your arms and chest. Let's try not to antagonize her, perhaps. Looks like you have a new friend, Chief. You two need some time together, or... As she traces your arms and chest, you suddenly notice she seems to be examining your scars. She withdraws her talons, clicks them twice, then bends forward and examines some of the tattoos on your chest. Oof. Who write on you? Hivers do that. No respect for zombies. Zombies, not paintings. She sniffs, then pokes one of your scars. This one, bad shape. Many scars. No preserves. Her talons suddenly hook into the thread you brought her, and lightning-like she jabs another talon into the skin near one of your scars. It feels barely more than a pinprick, but it looks like she is about to start stitching you up. Okay.
Updated my journal.
The sensation is curiously painless as Ivan begins to stitch up your scars. When she is done, she sniffs you, frowns, then stabs her fingers into the embalming fluid. Within minutes, she has dabbed your body with the fluid, and strangely enough, it makes you feel better. I saw the +1 max HP. That is very appreciated. Thank you. This may be the second time in my life I'm thankful I don't have a nose. Ivan puts the last touches on your body, gives you another sniff, nods, then makes a shooing motion with her talons. Done. Go. Go. So yay, I accomplished something. So you were the one that was... Okay. So I have the key now that she just happened to give me. I don't know where the embalming room is, but although now that I have this, I should probably. Oop, yep. Aha. Okay, so I just want to make sure of that before I did it in front of a dustman. So, I guess join me next time when... Let's see what he ends up doing with this key. And we'll see if we can get any closer to getting out of here. So, until then, this is MeleeWizard, and have a nice day.